we live? It's connecting. Hello, 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 and welcome, ladies. Welcome to Forge to Thrive on GLEM TV. This is where we have intentional conversations with women leaders who have forged through life's challenges and now thriving with purpose. Today, I am so honored, to welcome Dr. Christina Konya, who is a spiritual mentor, empowerment coach, author, and speaker dedicated to guiding women through healing, self-discovery, and transformation. Konya is also the visionary author of the upcoming anthology titled Women Rising, The Power of Becoming. And today she is joined by some of the incredible authors whose stories are part of this movement. Yes, I call it a movement because I know from this volume one, just watch out for other volumes of this book that will be coming out. So Christina Konya and the ladies, welcome to Forge to Thrive.
Hello. Thank you very much, Miss Shirley. Thank you so much for having us. It's really a great pleasure.
Yes. Same here. Good to have you all the time. All right, so very quickly, we're gonna get on what we have today. I'm seeing beautiful faces for those of you that have, I guess, of course, you've seen the flyers out. Yeah, we're gonna give you opportunity to get to meet these beautiful faces. Okay, Christina, let's start with Maggie. Can you take us a bit into your journey? Just a little bit about where you were before now, and maybe just a defining moment that shaped the woman that you are today. And Maggie.
Well, thank you for having me. Am I not lucky to be the first one? Right on the spot. Thank you for having me, as I said, and thank you for Christina and all the other ladies that have been with me on this amazing journey. Christina approached me last year asking whether I would like to contribute. And that was something that aligned with my thoughts at the time, because I really wanted to start writing my own bio, my own book. And there you go. Christina approached me and I said, wow, I think that the timing couldn't be any better. So the chapter of my book is describing, it's quite packed with lots of activities, events that happen in my life. It's taking our audience on an amazing journey of me being brought up in communist country and how societal expectations shaped me to really finding my voice and not being and being able, being courageous enough to overcome all the obstacles of my life in order to become me rather than who I was expected to be as a youngest child or as a Polish person, as someone who was growing up in communist country, being deprived lots of things that was happening just kind of like abroad. So I don't want to say much about my chapter, but I would say that I'm a health and self-regulation coach, and I'm working with people with long-term health conditions. And I know that the book, my chapter, is not reflecting only me, it's reflecting the journeys of so many clients that I had. So I couldn't be happier to be part of it and for the audience to have opportunity to read it very soon.
Amazing. Thank you so very much, Maggie. Yes, definitely. I know that your chapter is going to inspire lives out there, just like every other women's chapter that is on the book. And yes, it's a pleasure to get to meet you and, of course, get to know a bit about your chapter. Thank you so very much. Now, I want to go back to Christina. Christina Konya, she's the reason why we're here. Actually, she's the one that, brought all of us together. So I want to Christina to take us on just a little journey, Christina, in one, well, let's say one word now. How would you describe your journey on how life has, has helped you, or you've been forged through challenges, and today you emerge thriving? In one word, like how would you describe, your journey of forging and of course getting to the point where you thrive now, Christina? I know.
One word.
No.
I only
No,
have
yes,
one word. Okay, my word is roller coaster.
Roller coaster. Yes, I think that's powerful. Because of course I know that our lives on a daily is sometimes like a roller coaster. Yes, where you have to. Sometimes you don't even know, where. Let me take on Anita on that roller coaster, the journey. That's Christina's definition actually of her journey so far. But what would you say yours is, Anita?
I was laughing because I would resonate with that word, but I would call it Phoenix.
Woo, powerful. Can you take us a bit deeper into that?
Because for me, the phoenix rises from the ashes, and the way that I forged my journey is pain as the doorway to my power. Initiations, that's this awakening. So that's why
yes, awakening. Yes, I take that awakening, because of course you know that if your journey, of course, from when we're younger and to a point where you just begin to see yourself like, what's going on? Have I been slipping? What has been happening to me? I think there's time to awake. There's time, for me to come back alive, because there's so many people that needs me. I need to be alive for me first and foremost, don't get me wrong. And of course, be alive for your family, those that love you, and of course the world, because there's so much that God has deposited inside of us that is not just for us, that is for others. And that's why I believe the grace for us to be at this stage to share our story, it's has presented itself to us. Thank you so very much, Awakening. Dr. Maria, what would you say yours is? We've heard of go ahead.
That? Yes, no, mine would be creation, and creation at various levels, because I think every human being anywhere on the planet creates. Our existence is, creating ourselves on a daily basis. But we have to take that from very deep inside. We have to go very, very deep and pierce really the most, I guess, the essence of the universe that created us, and then take it very high up to our highest abilities. And that is a big journey, a huge journey, because I think, as somebody said, pain is obviously very important, but there is also fear, which is the most foundational thing. And if we try to just push that away or release it or ignore it, we are not going to be as great creators as we could be. So it's going through the many different layers of who we are to really be able to create, everything comprehensively. Yeah.
We create ourselves.
Yes.
And whatever we are going through, ensure that you see yourself at the other side, being better, becoming, standing firm, awakening, that which has been given from inside. All right, that's powerful. That's powerful. Anna, over to you.
Yes, first of all, I have the same word since years. It's remembering. It's remembering us, not just as women, but as humans. Remembering layers of our own selves, and tap into that, who we are, again and again and again. And I think this remembering, it's a never-ending story, because more we tap into newer layers, we remember, because everything is already inside. It's not we are just going inward more and more and more. as Maria also said, that we have the entire universe inside ourselves. And we arrive on this lifetime knowing it all. Whoever ever looked into the eyes of a newborn, there is this immense universal wisdom. They look back at us. We just don't have that. We become vulnerable and unable to speak and express ourselves, and we are so dependent on our environment to grow up, and in that process we forget most of it, or some of us almost everything, and then it starts the journey to remember, coming back and allow things to come to the surface. And I think all of us, we are constantly surprising ourselves and our environment as well.
Yes, I think I love that, because in whatever we are going through, we're not supposed to actually forget where we are coming from. Forget our stories that shaped, who we are today. Sometimes if you forget, I say that means you're not doing yourself any good, because in order for you to be able to move ahead, forge ahead, you must look back, at where you're coming from, and of course, where God has taken you to, the present. Then you'll be able to move, into the future with the lessons you have learned, from where you're coming from, that will help you move ahead. So remembering, yes, that's powerful. Thank you so very much, Anna. Thank you so very much. And that's still ties everything into becoming who we are today, the power of becoming who we are today. Thank you so much, very much, ladies. Yes, I know. I don't know if Christina did a kind of math or calculation or something, or I'm trying to look for the right word. For selecting the faces that she have in this book, because you ladies are just so amazing. Thank you so very much. Thank you for sharing your truth. Yes, Kirsten, over to you before we move ahead, Kirsten.
Hi. I think my word would be earthquake, because I went through a separation and divorce that literally rocked me to the core of my being and my soul, and cracked me open from the inside out, and felt like at the time it completely destroyed everything I knew, what was my life and who I was. So it was about this earthquake awakening for me, rebuilding my life from the ashes, from the dust up, of who I was, who I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, and what kind of family I wanted and how I was going to live. So I think for me it was a complete earthquake.
Yeah, it's like I learned recently that sometimes life is just lifing, So of course I could also say same, that yes, even when life is lifing, we have to, reawaken our spirit and come forth to reality, and move ahead, because when life puts us down, we are not expected to remain there, but to get back up and keep moving. And that's the power of what we are today as great vessels, great women, the power of becoming, transforming, creating, remembering, everything put together. It's what makes us who we are. And I appreciate you, ladies. I celebrate you. Your stories are powerful, and I know that this book that is coming is going to be a huge blessing, to the lives of other women, that must have walked the same path, or are just there confused, not knowing, where do I turn to? What do I do at this point? There's a common saying that the best lesson that you can learn is learning from other people's experiences, people that have walked the path before you. And I know that your life experiences is going to be a blessing to the lives of others. So I celebrate you ladies once again. Thank you so much for sharing, your truth on Forge to Thrive. Yes, very quickly, I know, from a bit that you have shared about your story, as you are all aware, the power of becoming. That is, a bit about what you have, rightly, shared with us. And when many women struggle, to trust their inner voice after major life shifts, after lifing them. So I want to take Christina on this. How did you reconnect with yours, and what helped you stay aligned with your truth, Christina?
That's a really good question and an interesting one, because in this journey, yes, I had to reconnect with my truth. I was the perfect people pleaser. I was like textbook style people pleaser, okay? So I had to overcome my tendency of pleasing others. And most importantly, I had to overcome I had to choose really fear. I mean, faith over fear. Because I learned that fear is going to be always there. And if I look back on my life, whatever I did, and when I moved countries like 2 times, 3 times, right? Whenever I decided to do different things in my life, when I opened my company, when I had, oh yes, I am a people pleaser. Whenever I had to do something, I did it, I was afraid. I was not prepared and I was not ready, but I did it anyway. And this is what I learned along the way. And that's when my word was roller coaster. It was roller coaster because during this process of transformation, during this process of becoming, you go up, highs, you feel, oh my God, my life is going to change. And then you go down because there is another layer of you unfolding. And then you go up again and down again and you get dizzy. And you have this physical, your body starts to talk to you along the way. And you're like, oh my God, my body spoke to me all the time, right? So it was a process. It was a transformation, a roller coaster. But that's okay, because this is how I personally reconnected with who I really am. And I love the fact that none of the ladies here, and we have quite a few authors, okay? Nobody knows yet what the other one wrote. But at the end of the day, if we have to summarize the whole book, it's all about choosing yourself, choosing myself. Each and every one of them, including me, talked about that. So at the end of the day, the whole thing is about reconnecting with who you are and choosing yourself. And just one more sentence here, Miss Shirley. I love what Maria said, and I love what all the ladies said, because when you take off all the layers and all the roles where you are playing, then what remains is who you really are. It's the I am. Okay, but to get to know the I am, now that's a process. That's a hell of a journey.
Amazing. Yes, of course. If you don't take care of yourself, who will? Like, it's a common saying here. So definitely, what you're sharing is about choosing yourself first and foremost. Choosing you, because at the end of the day, it is you. It is your life. So if anything, like sometimes when we are try to allow, you made mention about, used to be a people's pleaser. You're not the only one, even myself as well. But by the time you look back, you cannot always continue to pour out without, taking time to refuel, taking time to take care of you, taking time to be you. Sometimes it's not a crime to say no to something that doesn't sit well with you, because you cannot continue to, out of your own, at the detriment of your peace. I would put it that way. Continue to, Shirley, yes, I'm gonna do that just to make me happy. But deep down, you know that no, yes, I'm not comfortable with that. So it is okay for us, to always be real to ourselves, be truthful to ourselves. At a point, where am I going from here? Like, talking about your life being a roller coaster. Where am I going from here? If I continue this way in the next 10 years, what's going to happen to me? And these are truths, these are facts, these are raw messages that we need to look back at ourselves and say, yes, this is me. I have to be truthful to myself that this is not working. I cannot continue this way. And that is your truth. It's nobody's truth. And that is why our voices is our truth. What you know about yourself remains with you. And those in the healthcare will say that self-care is not being selfish. So taking care of you first. And like they also used to say, you put your mask on first before another person, meaning you have to take care of yourself first. Because before anybody will be around to begin to judge you, condemn you, look at you, the other one, and say, why did you have to do that? You have to exist first. You have to be available. You have to be aware. You have to be alive. Because if you do not look back and take care of you, no one else will. So thank you so much, Christina, for sharing that with us. I want to ask, who should I ask this question now? Who is going next? Now, the power of becoming. Maria, the power of becoming. At that level where you are now in your life, what would you say it means to you personally and professionally?
Well, it means primarily, I've noticed that the more I really hit my fears in their face, the more I can create, and I can give many practical examples, where I was afraid, I had to do, I was presented with a task and I was afraid. I said, no, I cannot do that. And then I put it off, and then years later, this happened very recently, I was presented with the same task and I said, I'm going to hit it in its face, straight on, and I'm going to do it. And I had, the fear, anxiety, but I did it. And it turned out amazing. It turned out infinitely better than things I just did because I was comfortable and I was just doing something, right? And I think the challenge is to then have the self-confidence to look back and say, hey, had you done this 10 years ago, you would have won big back then. But back then you were afraid. You said, no, I don't want this, right? So it's, it's hitting your fears in the face and not be restricted by time. Don't think that, oh, I wasted 10 years, I wasted 30 years, I wasted 40 years because I didn't do, because I was afraid, because those fears exist in a space where there is really no time and space in that sense, right? So don't be like destroyed or discouraged by any insight that, oh my God, I wasted so much. You didn't, you always are who you are, right? And you got to hit those fears. Yeah.
Yes. Amazing. Who is ready to hit their fears in 2026? Like hit your, like, when, those boxers, the wrestlers also just, all right. Thank you so very much, Maria. Yes, hitting your fears right in the face, choosing faith over fear, because our fear will never get you anywhere. It will only, stagnate you, limit you, reduce you, stop you, and all the, words you can think of. And that's, I think, brings us into reawakening, what God has given to us from the inside. You need to begin to allow that to come to life. Because by the time you keep, like you talked about, looking at your time and say, oh yeah, I think I've wasted time, I'm old, I'm too old. Yes, I think that's where I want to go, where some of us as women feel like, look at my age, I'm 60 now, I'm 70 now, let me just forget about it. My grandchildren will come and do what I did not do. There's nothing like that. Whatever you miss to do for you dies with you. Your grandchildren, your children, they have their life. They have their purpose as well to run with. If you check, you will definitely agree with me. that your children will just come and of course they have their life. God created every one of us uniquely with different gifts and talents. So you cannot come and say, oh yeah, as a journalist, I'm not able to continue forge, and become everything that I had, prayed about, dreamed about to become. Please, my daughter, can you please be a journalist for me? And she's like, no, mommy, I want to become a medical doctor. So by the time you try to force her into what she's not destined for, you will just see frustrations again and again. She can't fit in because that's not her calling. And I said that to say that for those of you that may be watching us out there, there is no time that is too late for you to start, doing that which you have been called to do. You have not wasted time. The time, whenever you will realize that's your awakening, you jump into it and get the work done. Thank you so much, Maria, for sharing that. And before we move, I want to ask Maggie, how has finding and using your voice changed you personally and professionally?
Wow, it's a big question. Whilst I was listening to Dr. Maria, I wrote, just something came to my mind, and I just wrote in my notes, the beauty of selves if we only train ourselves to have courage to face it. Mm-hmm. And I think this is, what my story is about. It's finding, it's a long story, but if I can kind of like put it in a kind of like few sentences. So I was born as the youngest child in communist Poland. And though my parents loved me very much, there were just societal expectations of how we had to be, what we had to do, especially being the youngest of the family. And I was trained from day zero, from day one, to obey everyone, to listen to everyone, to do everything as everyone else were doing. And I lost myself. At the age of about 18, 19, I didn't know who I was. There was a significant moment of my life that happened when I was at that age that is described in the book that I'm not going to reveal now. And it just woke me up. And I spent all my life supporting people in the same, facing the same scenario as I faced at the time. Finding the courage to speak without guilt or shame, having the courage to verbalize my thoughts and not hiding behind. But also, as I do lots of, as I said at the beginning, I'm working with people with long-term health conditions to empower them to see themselves beyond any labels that they were given. And I know how powerful our mind is, but knowing that our body listens to our words, our body listens to everything that's happening in our mind, is just amazing, helping people to really become healthy once again and put their medical conditions in remission because they believed in themselves that they could do significant, amazing stuff around themselves, as I did in my own life. So I think that's the answer for your question, Sheila.
Wow. I give you a round of applause. That's amazing. That's a powerful work that you're doing, giving hope, to those that, because of their medical condition, they feel like this could be the end, and being there to support them, give them hope, empower them to know that even after these labels, there's still life ahead of them and they can still bounce back to do great things. I think that's super amazing. Thank you so much. And that's, of course, as a result of you stepping forward to use your voice, because, of course, if you did not, who would be there for them today? Thank you so very much, Maggie, for what you do. Thank you so much. Anita, I want to hear from you. How has using your voice been like, for you personally and professionally?
This question for me was like super expansive because this is the core of my work. which is suppression from expression. And I feel the voice is literally a reflection of the inner work that we do. Because for me, now maybe you can see me do speeches for 200, 300, and I seem, like, oh, this woman has always been confident, but it wasn't always like that. I was shy, I was super insecure, and I loved how how this amazing community of women has said, this part of facing the fear. For me, I've even reframed it more this year, and literally the way that I've seen this fear, more than confront it from a place of I don't want you. Like, for me, it has been literally my best friend to discover myself, because beneath those fears, it has been a deeper return to who I am behind those masks. And in a world that, especially the feminine, has been suppressed in so many ways, and we try to fit in so many boxes. For me, professionally, I'm going to start there first. Well, I studied psychology, I was a school teacher, so always like trying to fit in structures and systems, and something bigger for me was like, this doesn't resonate. I can't be here my full expression. And I don't feel that I came to this life to try to fit in a box or to try to follow a structure. Because the feminine is wholeness, the feminine is rawness, the feminine is well, the feminine is everything, right? So for me, I started questioning those voices of shoulds, which in the end, it's all like fears, conditioning, pattern stories that we have adopted. And when you start questioning and start listening to your truth, which is what you brought and what resonates a lot for me, your truth, your own truth. For me, I was like, I don't want to be like this mask of, because you are a doctor in this, you have to be this, and try to fit in like this, or because you are a teacher this, or because you're in corporate, you have to be this. I want to be all of me. And it came with a lot of rejection, it came with a lot of losses, because, well, in the end, we all have we identify with disciplines or things, and it hits our ego. No, if you studied this, you should be this. And that's everything that I question. I want to be me. I don't want to be it. I want to be me. And for that, that's when entrepreneurship came. And I was like, here, I get to be my full expression. And that came with breaking so many fears. And the word for me this year was literally making love to my fears. That for me is the feminine, integrating your shadow with love, not through violence, not through running away from it, not through suppressing it, not through spiritual bypass, but literally facing it with so much love, because what you're going to discover is you, a part of you. And that for me was my process, like business wise. And that's what catapulted everything for me. Like literally, I can say that I'm the first woman in my lineage that, God, I get paid for being me. And that is so weird to say. Like getting paid for being you, not for bringing any mask. And girl, like that comes with a lot of like inner work, right? Which all of us here, like as Christina said, it's a journey. It's a journey of returning to who we are behind those fears. And personally, for me, obviously, it has affected my relationships, the way that I relate to my feminine, because in a world that there's more like this masculine conditioning, for me, it's not about one or the other. It's uniting both. But it's like we try to fit in maybe, I don't know, a world like for more the masculine. And God, like there's such power in being you as a woman that I don't want, again, it's like not trying to be anybody but you, right? And that comes with a lot of questioning, that comes with a lot of facing those fears, that comes with a lot of connection back to your body. Because if we're not connected to our body, how are we going to even know what we feel or what our truth is? Because it's like another voice is louder than our own voice. So for me, like a voice is everything. A voice is a reflection of you. It's your expression. It's your truth.
Yes. Wow. That was, woohoo! That was powerful. Thank you so much, Anita. Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, that's all we need as women. That's all we need. Reconnecting, being you. I used to say that there is nothing that can stop you as a woman from becoming everything. Like I'm not saying some part of it, some part of you, everything that you have been called to do. Just be you. You don't have to try to fit in. And just like you've rightly mentioned, sometimes society expects you to be this way, like, you know, walk this way, talk this way, be like this. Why can't you just be you? Just be you and do you, because at the end of the day, just like I think all of our stories here brings us back to the fact that every one of us need to discover who we are. Rediscover yourself. And rediscovering does not just end by, yes, I know what I've been doing, I'm good at it. But there are moments and time where you can look back, like talking about remembering, look back and know that, yes, no, that I think I'm bigger than where I am. I'm supposed to be more than this. So, and what's stopping you from becoming everything that you have been called to do? Even as you studied psychology, you can go in and do something else. You can just explore, be everything. Nothing is stopping you, in as much as you are not stopping yourself, because I know that you are the only one you can stop you. Without you saying no to yourself, there is no one else. There's nothing, you know, that can stop you, that's big enough to stop you, except you are ready to stop. You don't have to continue to fit in, you know, to make anybody happy. For me, just like you mentioned, that was also my story back then, where I always feel shy. No, I'm not ready yet. I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think that stage is for me. But until I just look back and say, everything that God has given to me to do, who's going to do it? No one else will do it for me if I don't step forward, you know, to run with what have been given to do. And that's where the awakening comes in. That's where becoming, taking charge, and knocking that fear in the face comes in. Fear, what are you? You can't stop me. You can't do it. You know, those thoughts about, I don't think you have what it takes. You cannot do it, this and that, all of that. Lady, you have it covered. God got you. And once you're not ready to stop, nobody can stop you. Thank you so very much, Anita. That was powerful. That was powerful for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, over to Kirsten. The same question, Kirsten.
So for me, it's also a very interesting question, because when I went through my separation, which for me came as a shock. We were together for many years, 12, 13 years, had 2 children, 2 stepchildren, very secure, very nurturing, very mostly happy relationship. And when this kind of earthquake that I mentioned that happened, you know, I realized everything you're saying. I realized that I didn't know who I was. I had completely lost myself as a woman, as a mother, as myself. And when my healing began, the biggest question for me was, who am I? I'd lost my voice within this entire relationship, in a way, actually, just the dynamics of it. And the healing journey wasn't only about finding my voice again and who I am. It was also about going within and realizing that the voice within me, my internal narrative, didn't even belong to me. It was voices I'd inherited as a child, which we all do, which shapes our behaviors and our thoughts. And it's words I've heard from teachers, family members, friends, other adults, you know, just words you absorb as a child. And then it becomes you, but it's not me. And only this earthquake awakening that I mentioned did I realize that it's not me, and start, like you talk about, taking charge. And so for me, the beginning was quite a quiet, internal, intuitive process. It wasn't loud, aggressive, screaming my voice, not like that. It was first finding out my voice within, and then using that voice outward and starting to express myself and express my truth.
Yes.
And that was so powerful for me, because I felt that every time I actually expressed my truth, and of course I would do it in a way that was aligned with who I am in a graceful manner, I felt more and more powerful. And now to a point where through this earthquake awakening, this divorce, I've actually found my new career, my purpose, my passion, which is coaching other women going through a divorce or separation, and helping them find themselves and finding their voice.
Finding their voice, yes.
Yes, and I think it's like you also said, you know, I realized that I'm coming towards 50. I'm at the end of my 40s. And part of this process of finding my voice was exactly that. I realized, hang on a second, I am like well into the second half of my life. And
Mm-hmm.
this everything has to change right here. I'm not accepting anything less now. I've had a great
Okay.
life. It's felt like it was fantastic, but I now realize it was kind of ordinary. It was great, but ordinary. And
Yes.
now I have the opportunity to make it extraordinary through the power of my voice, the power of becoming, and the power of rising. And
Rising.
like you say, sometimes we need these earthquake moments. You don't invite them at the time because you don't understand it. Only in reflection do you understand it and realize it was there for a reason, for you to actually find who you are and just redirect you onto the right path in life.
Yes, yes, thank you, thank you. Yes, I often say that it will be a tragic experience, you know, for any one of us. Like if you, by the time you come to the end of life and you find out that you never really lived life to the fullest, like you were just existing. And that will be a very regrettable experience when you discover that, because you fail to do what? To walk in purpose, to discover you, to discover what you have been called to do. You're just living, like you wake up, you eat, you know, just do something that doesn't really give you joy, like that can help you find peace. Because I tell people that if you are not walking in purpose, doing that which you have been called to do, actually being you, discovering you, then you're just existing. That's the truth. Because there's this inner joy that comes from the way within when you are actually doing what you have been given to do, when you're actually living life to the fuller, like you are fulfilling purpose. And they're just doing some mundane thing that let me just do that. That's what they're expecting of me. My family was raised this way. You know, that's our pattern. That's what we are known for, and stuff like that. Then you're just following a kind of a map that was laid down, and you have never cared to discover your road path. You know, and I tell people sometimes that the best journey that you can do for yourself sometimes is to travel on the road less traveled, because that way you're going to leave your print there. It wasn't always that's what everybody's doing, let me go there. So who will stand up tomorrow and create a different path that generations that are looking up to you will follow through? We have it within us, every one of us, especially for us as women. We don't have to always try to fit in, be like the others. We have everything that God has given to us. And I celebrate you that you are using your voice today to help other women that had, you know, that's also going through what you went through. And that's the beauty of, you know, our callings, turning our pain or whatever it is into purpose and helping others rise. That's powerful. That's so powerful. Thank you so much, Kirsten. And Anna, before we call Christina back, because Christina was like, Shirley, where am I? All right, Anna, please step. Can we hear from you, Anna?
Well, finding my voice was a very slow process. And it started, well, I lost who I am quite early. And well, my sister calls herself people pleaser, well, I was the pro version of that. And yes, well, I'm an artist, and I started to work, to draw, to return to actually create when I was 32, 33 years old. I stopped when I was a teenager. And for 20 years, I didn't draw one line, nothing. Obviously, I was always creating, I was always using my hands. But the truth is, I was so much into fitting in being accepted. So we were born in Transylvania, in a bilingual environment, in a Hungarian family. And for me, this loss of who am I, the identity crisis started already with, am I Romanian, am I Hungarian, what am I? And then I moved to Hungary. There I experienced something completely different. And then it seemed like all these layers, instead of being undressed, I was just packing more and more on that. And when I got diagnosed with a tumor in my head, I was 32, in the best years of my life. And suddenly I had the feeling like, okay, what's this and what's next? This doesn't want me dead. This wants something from me, and definitely it's coming to shake me up and to show me a completely different direction. And that was the starting point. And if we talk about earthquakes, that was the first one in a serial of coming with the, I divorced as well afterwards, because I knew beyond the medication and beyond being taken care of, I need to start taking care of myself. I need to start to listen to myself. And from that point, I learned one very accurate and unquestionable truth, that our body lives in the truth. And wherever our body is giving a sign, that must be listened to. And then gradually my voice came back with the ability to start again and again and again, to draw, to paint, to use the colors. So I started with colors. For me, my first artworks, my first exhibitions were all about stories. I couldn't stop. If I had 5 minutes of sitting down and having a pencil in my hand or whatever, I just needed to, all these in suppressed stories had to come to the surface. And as I couldn't find my voice as with words, my words were the colors, my words were my story was always coming out in the pictures, in the drawings, and later on in the paintings. And moving to Albania, which is a neutral country from my background, I could finally just relax and start to go really deep diving. And I had a couple of years of really isolating myself from whatever was familiar. And the only person who was always unquestionable beside me and never left me, that was my sister, because everyone else she went crazy. She wants to be an artist, where artists are labeled in so many ways. And I must say that we are not all drug addicted. We are not all having a loose and crazy life. Most of the artists I know, they are using art as therapy. They are using art as a channel to express so many things that the society doesn't express. And I love being more and more in this channel of finding my voice, being part of this anthology together with my sister, together with all these amazing ladies, and to see that even though our paths are going in a different direction, but it all leads back to ourselves and the power what we are carrying, and finding the balance of masculine, feminine within ourselves. And this balance will have, and hopefully in the coming decades will show an example, and the whole entire society to come back to balance female masculine energy, which we all crave so much.
Yes. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story. Thank you so very much. Yes, and thank you to the sister that has always been there, to support her. Thank you so very much. Yes, I know you have not very fortunate. So please continue to love on your sister, because some people don't have those sisters, the support system to always be there for them. So yeah, you have yours. I'm grateful. I'm thankful for you. Yes, yes, yes. We are nailing it down. We are nailing it down. We're already on top of the hour, but then we are not going to leave here without asking Christina the power of becoming, women rising. Tell us, when is this book coming out? When should we expect to have copies? Because I know viewers out there like, when is the book coming out? When now is it out? So please tell us. And where can we say it when it will be out?
I think not just the viewers and not just our audience, but all of us are waiting for the 20th of January. So the book will be released and will go live on the 20th of January. So I would love to kindly invite everybody, if we resonated with you, is any of us, you feel that we are in alignment with you, that please go ahead, stay tuned, and when the book is coming out, just feel free to purchase it, because the stories, what they are shared, may change your life. And I love, because Maggie, in one of the interview, and I'm going to emphasize that, said that, oh, why should I buy a book? It's your story. I don't care about your story. But you know what? You might recognize yourself in our story. You might learn something from our story. You might learn not to make the same mistakes what we make, and maybe we can help you to grow faster, to heal faster than we did. We did it in a hard way. But if you read the book, if you read the chapters, maybe not all of them, maybe just one line or maybe just one word, the becoming is going to resonate with you. That can be life-changing. And I'm really thankful for each and every one of you here today, and all those ladies who couldn't join us. I would love to say thank you to Miss Shirley as well, and the team behind, because this was a teamwork. We have the voices, and we put ourselves there, and we had the courage, all of you, to share the truth about yourself. But behind that, there is a team working, helping us with the marketing. And I would love to take this occasion as well to say them a big thank you for the support behind the scenes. We cannot see their faces, but we see their work. So I would love to say thank you for that as well. So remember, 20th of January, we're going to have a launch party as well. We're going to announce that, okay? So I'm like this. I'm hyper. I usually don't. I'm not hyper usually lately. But now I'm really excited. I really am. And my mind started to think, okay, Christina, what's going to be next? Because my word for this year is embodiment. It's embodiment.
Yeah, awesome. Yes, viewers, for those of you that are watching live or watching the replay, the women here have shared a snippet about their stories, their journeys, which is in the book. And the best thing that you can do with you in 2026 is for you to stay tuned and get a copy of this book. Now, just like Christina has rightly mentioned, sometimes it's not until you allow, yourself to go through a phase before you learn. You can learn from the wisest way to learn is to learn from other people's experience, learn from other people's mistakes, I would put it that way, so that you don't, make the same mistake. Or if you find yourself in the same space, just like they're sharing, you would know what to do and how to jump out of it immediately. So you don't have to, go through one after the other. Oh yeah, try and error, this, that. I know, yes, we all have unique ways of going through stuff, but by the time you learn one or two tips from someone else, you could add with what you have, and it will help you jump out or bounce out, faster than you could ever think of. Christina, you wanted to say something?
Oh yes, I really want to say something badly, so thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. About mistakes, I think today or yesterday was a video I saw, and it resonated so much with me, and I'm going to share it. Do not make the same mistake twice. There are so many mistakes out there. Try a new one. Okay, so try something else, because this is how you learn. This is how you grow, okay? Don't make the same mistake twice. Pick another one, okay? Thank you.
Yes. So pick another mistake, not the same one that you made in 2025. This is 2026, a brand new year. So don't try to go back to make the same mistake And these women are here, sharing the mistakes they made. Sometimes, in fact, for them, they must have made it like once or twice. So you don't have to repeat it the third time. So 2026, like I have been saying, is not that year for, that simple conversations about how should I do it? Should I go back to what I was last year? No way. You are to become more in 2026, bounce out and expand. It is that year where you don't have time for mediocrity, you don't have time for anything that will make you less of what you were in 2025 and all the years behind. It is that year for audacity, stepping out with audacity to do everything. Like Anita said, just be you, everything about you. Let more of you, let everybody just begin to look, where is she coming from? How did that happen? When from when? Yes. Awesome. Yes, I know that there's so much in store for us in 2026. And the best messages, the resources is coming early this year. So you don't look back by December and you begin to say, oh yeah, I would have done this. I didn't have the resource. I didn't have somebody to talk to me. I didn't have somebody to guide me. Those women are here with this book as well, this early in the year, to give you the needed resource for you to jump into the year with all the energy that you're looking for, that you may be looking for, to run this year with all the audacity. Thank you so very much. So on the 20th of January, this book will be out. The e-copy of this book will be released. So you can get a copy and it's gonna be very, 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 very cheap. Like it's just like a giveaway. So you won't have any excuse as to, oh, that book was too expensive for me to get. It's gonna be like a giveaway price. So get ready, stay tuned to get a copy of this book. So before we round up, I want to take the women just maybe in just a few seconds or maybe a minute or less, share with us as we look ahead. Because I know you ladies are powerhouses. You have so much. Like if we are to give you time, the whole day is not going to be enough. So, but share with us as we look ahead into 2026. What does thriving look like for you in this next season of your life? I will start with. Let me see. I'm actually trying to. I'll start with Mario.
What it means, I think it means fire. Fire over cold. We need both cold and fire. But I think finding a balance where fire really, takes the forefront is crucial. And also don't label, like very often we label things. We say, I grew up in this and that system, label the system. My job was this and that, label the job, right? All kinds of labels we constantly apply. And I would find the energy in those labels. Like ask yourself, why do I label this right now? Because energy is neutral, and for many people that's very disturbing because we like to think of ourselves as people with integrity. And we like to think of ourselves as people who know differences between good and bad, right? But energy is neutral. So whenever we find ourselves putting a label on anything and thinking, oh yes, this was good, this was bad, this was right for me, this was not, I try to always stop doing that immediately and find the energy. What does the energy in that situation tell you? And then put out your fire, So, I mean, when put out your fire, I don't mean extinguish it. I mean, throw out, be your fire instead of being a label. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Be your fire instead of being a label. Yes. Thank you. Maggie, very quick one from you.
I just want to say that I've been helping lots of people with cardiovascular medical conditions to recover and to put them in remission. So rather than worrying too much or fearing to become ill, make yourself resourceful enough so when it happens, you know how to treat yourself to be well once again. And also what I said before, that labels don't make who you are. You decide internally who you are, so have courage to be yourself. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Have the courage to be who you are. Kirsten?
For me, for the thought of thriving this year, for me, there's two words that come to mind, and that is adventure and fun. Because I feel like the last 3 years, at least, of my life have been so heavy and full of sadness and pain and reflection and confusion and compassion for others and just heavy energy and low frequency. And this year, I can feel already, it's already happening. It's about having adventures for myself and my children, having a bit of fun, yeah, and having high energy and high frequency, and it's all happening, and the universe is shifting, and I'm just open to receive it all.
Absolutely, yes. Always ready for adventure because we have to follow. Oh, no, no. Are we coming with you? Or you're going just with you and your family anyway?
Come with me. Because I just want to add that, when you go through such a heartbreak, the idea is of opening your heart afterwards. You don't have to close yourself after heartbreak and think that you're never ever going to meet anyone else or not going to have any fun. You don't close yourself. The idea, you actually open your heart again. It's even more, even greater.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. That would be beautiful. Yes, I'm going to tap into that. Some adventures and fun this year. Thank you. All right, Anita.
I love listening to all of you. Well, for me, this energy connected to thriving, we're entering the horse year after 2025 of the snake year, which was all about shedding, as Kurt said, also this pain or this heaviness or this shadow. But there was such medicine around that year because those that went into the depth of themselves, those that actually will face those fears and integrating them with love, are the ones that are gonna rise even higher this year, And this whole year is all about leadership, empowerment, momentum, direction, energy. So everything is already setting that vibration, right? But that is not possible if we don't meet those parts of ourselves. It's not possible if we keep running away from those fears or that pain or those patterns and questioning those shoulds and that condition and those narratives. And everything was necessary to awaken the person that we are today, the woman behind those masks, the woman behind those patterns. So for me, everything was perfect. 2025 had to happen that way for many of us, with breakups, challenges, pains, change in business systems, to rise into the woman that we came here to be and serve from that place, right? And serve from that home, because it's not about rejecting any part either. So that's
because of course that makes who we are. The entire story, the entire journey, yes, is that's what makes us who we are. Because there's no part you can take out and to keep agreeing, owning it on your story, because yes, that's who you are. Thank you so much. Yes, but in all of that, I'm going to add adventure and fun, to what you're going to do, a journey through in 2026. Yes, thank you. All right, Anna.
Yes, well, thriving, fulfillment, there are two, like Maria said about the fire. It's important to put our fire out there, because if we keep it inside, but I'm a fire sign person, and I know from very own experience that if it's burning from inside, it is eating you from inside. It has to come out. It has to have a space out there. And it's the same, like 2025, I think for all of us was a year where literally the last 13, 15, 9, depends on cycles we've been through. It was kind of arriving to a closing, to an end. But I think, well, in my case, a lot of space got released within my mind, released within my heart. And it's about me fulfilling and filling up those spaces with something that is actually bringing me joy, happiness, and to retap into the joy food, Anna.
Yes, thank you. Amazing.
Thank you.
Christina, go ahead.
Christina, go ahead. Christina, well, for Christina, for me, 2026 is going to be about identity, worthiness, and self-trust. And altogether, this means embodiment, right? Just to embody who I always was, but I never showed. So this year, Christina's gonna rock, okay? so that's gonna happen.
Yes,
It's all about really the power of becoming, and don't understand the thing that you are got. It's about we constantly change, okay? We constantly change. So this year, and I'm gonna just repeat myself, is gonna be about embodiment, and I'm really thankful. I am open to new opportunities. I am open to meet new communities because that was my request, and I already got. So it's getting there. It started, and I'm really thankful. No, I'm just really thankful.
Thank you, ladies. I am thankful also for having the opportunity also to connect with you, ladies, through Christina. Thank you so much. That's a power of community is a huge one. I celebrate every one of you, ladies, for being a part of this community with us. Thank you so much. And finally, how can the viewers out there connect with you on Facebook? What socials are you? Very quickly, Kirsten. How can they connect with you?
You can find me on Instagram. My name is heartbreak_2_heart open, heartbreak to heart open. And Facebook is the Heart Opener Coach.
All right. Anita?
They can find me on Instagram, Anita Rivas with V Cortez.
All right. Anna?
Well, social media platforms, Anna Konya Art, and I have my website, annakonya.com. It's easy to find me.
Okay. All right, Maggie?
I'm on LinkedIn and Facebook, just Maggie Englander.
Okay, Maria?
Yes, you can find me on Amazon and Audible under Maria Ian. I think that's the best source. And I'm also on LinkedIn and Instagram, also with Maria Ian.
All right. Christina?
You can find me on Facebook under my name, Christina Konya, on Instagram, christina.konya1, and also my website, which is www.souledspace.com.
Powerful. Yes, it has been an amazing time. And of course, the opportunity to share the stage with this amazing women coming forward to share about their upcoming book, Women Rising, The Power of Becoming. I mean, this is an amazing book. Like, I don't know the right words to use, but you can, feel it. You can have that feeling. You can have, that's, do you want to touch it? That little touch, from the stories that these women have shared, that this book is going to be a game changer for every one of you out there that'll be, have opportunity to get a copy. So I encourage you to stay tuned. The book will be released on the 20th of January. The time also will be announced. You can check their socials for the flyers about that on the 20th of January. So you can just click on the link, get a virtual copy for yourself, an e-copy for yourself, read through and be blessed. And then, of course, when you get the copy, please don't be stingy this year. This year, there's a lot, you need to, share the message out, send the link as well out to other women that are around you to also go get their copy. We have to look out for each other, as women. So please, when you get a copy for you, don't just leave it at, for you alone. Oh, I've gotten it, I'll be blessed. Yes, you'll be blessed, but ensure that you share with others so they can also share with others, and the copies will go around, because we want as many women this year to rise, take the stage, rule and reign, and of course, embody everything that God has given to them this year. Thank you so much, Christina and the ladies. Thank you for sharing so openly and courageously. Your stories remind us that healing is possible, purpose can be reclaimed, and every woman's voice matters. To every one of you that are still watching or watching the replay, this is a reminder that rising is not about perfection, but a progression. You need to progress, keep becoming, and of course you get there. So thank you for watching us and joining us on Forge to Thrive on Glemm TV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The name of the channel is Glemm TV. Turn on the notification bell and follow us on TikTok as well and Facebook so you don't miss any episode. Until next time, keep forging, keep thriving, and keep becoming more. Thank you so much. Until next time, see you